Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all honors and glory and praises belongeth to Yahweh, by Sham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waharakah Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai, who we reverence, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that teach us truth well, and that continue to teach us truth well, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning across the globe. Don't know what I'm going to call this lesson. Okay. You know what? As quick as Esau rose, he shall fall. That's going to be the name of the lesson. It's going to be a great fall. Let's go to Obadiah, Baba Kashar. Obadiah 1. And Obadiah is one of the shortest chapters. But he was still a prophet. You see, you had prophets, they may not had many chapters, but they were still important. They were still prophets, because certain men say minor prophets, major. What the hell is that? A prophet's a prophet regardless. This whole thing about minor, major prophets, they were all important. A prophet is a prophet at the end of the day. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Jehovah Shai, power concerning Edom. Okay. And who's Edom? The Edomites. Okay. And where would that land of Edom be today? America, which is also known as what? Bosra. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Jehovah Shai, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. And when you go into that word ambassador, it's referred to as a diplomat. And you've had several diplomats from, where is it? From the US, from China, so forth, being expelled from particular parts of the US, and China doing the same thing. And even from Russia. Okay, there's something that when we, was it Czech Republic, a few of them got dismissed, sacked. Because what are they doing? They're ambassadors. What are they sent to do? To gather info. Because really, that's what they come to do. So an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And you notice how it says the ambassador amongst the heathen, so a representative of one of the other nations. Okay, arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So these other nations are going to rise up against Esau, Babylon, in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. So once upon a time, Esau was very, very high esteemed. Not to say people don't bow down to him, because this is his system. But he says he is small among the heathen. So now, Esau's looked at in that way. Who's this guy? This guy's the devil. I think China calls him what? The dragon. Okay. Or the great beast. Okay. So even in these other nations, they got names for Esau, nicknames for Esau. They know he's the devil, but they're just making money off him. So they are small among the heathen that are greatly despised. So all these other nations despise you as well. They're just making money off you. Okay. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, and that's what pride does. That's why the scriptures talk about humility. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. So when you have pride, it deceives one. An inflated ego. You think more than yourself than what you are. That's why the scriptures deal with humility. Excuse me. That dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. So Esau, that's why he has these high buildings. Okay, he dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. These are the buildings. Because it reminds him of what? His background, Mount Seir, Mount Petra, Georgia, Russia, whose habitation is high. That's why he's got these big buildings. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So Esau, he's got that mentality. Who's going to bring me down to the ground? I've been ruling this long. That's that pride. Thou that exalteth thyself as the eagle, and the eagle spies out. Okay? The eagle has what? Good sight. So you can also refer that eagle as what? Esau and his spy agencies as well. Okay? Remember the eagle. Okay? Exalt thyself as the eagle. And the eagle flies very, very high, and it can see everything that's above it. You can acquaint that to what? Esau, his cameras, and so forth. Okay? And thou that set thy nest among the stars. Satellite stations. Okay. Thence when I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahushua. That's when he's going to bring you down, because this is what Yahushua does. He lets you build up that tab, and he's going to bring you straight back down. Little do you know. Let me just a minute. I want to get the right precepts for this. Spare me just a minute. So now let's go to Isaiah 2. Baba Kashar. Me get into what idolism is. Because idolism ain't just sacrificing someone. That ain't just idolism. There's many forms of idolism. Anything you put before Yahushua, you're an idolater. That's why you have to examine yourself in this truth. We have to examine ourselves. Let's go to Isaiah 2. And we're going to go straight to verse 7. Start at 8. Their land is full of idols. This is speaking about Babylon, America. It's full of upper idols. Different buildings, monuments, and so forth. And the people idolize themselves. Television, pushed out through media. America's top idol. They worship the work of their hands. What's that? Statues. Oh, ain't this a beautiful statue? No, that's an idol. Okay, they worship the work of their hands, that which with their own fingers have made. Their own fingers. And that was the beginning of what idolatry. A person making something after his own likeness or after a likeness of a creature. That's idolism. And you can also tie that in with vainglory. Okay. If you're going to teach about these things, you've got to teach the whole spectrum, not one part. Okay. You're putting your daughter, you're putting your woman, okay, because a lot of you're simping to your woman. Okay, your woman slapping you about. Okay, probably chucking plates at you and all that. You have to duck, you know. Well, the scriptures do say a wicked man's given unto a wicked woman. Okay, so it is what it is. Okay. But anyway, where was we? And that which their own fingers have made, and the mean man boweth down. So the mean man's what? He's going to bow down to these what? Idols. And the great man humbleth himself. Therefore forgive them not. That's what? That's going to be the recompense of what? That pride. Enter into the rock. So this when the elites are going to try to hide when Yahushua comes. What? No, actually, is as soon as the missiles fly. Okay. That's when the elites are what? Going to be in them bunkers. And at that time, Yahushua is going to what? He's going to appear on the scene, because there's an order to these prophecies. There's an order. And it tells you in Job, when he shall fill his belly. Okay, when he's about to fill his belly, the Yahushua shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. And at that time, he's going to be in them bunkers. But they're going to be grabbed out. But let's stick to this. Enter into the rock and hide in the dust for the fear of the Lord. So people are going to be entering into the rock. What is rocks? Buildings. Okay. Bases. For the fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty. People are going to be trying to hide on the floor. In these other undercover bunkers. Underground tunnels. You do know the elites have underground cities. Not just the elites, millionaires. Certain billionaires, they've already invested in these things. This has been done for years. Longer than 20, 30, 40 years. This was being done during the time of what? Hitler. Even before then, there was underground bases, which the so-called Nazis had. This ain't nothing new. And for the glory of his majesty, because Yahushua is coming what? Back majestic. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down. Men exalting themselves. Here it is, a man can make himself a demigod, have 3,000, 1,000 viewers, and he can be wicked as hell. And the Lord Yahushua alone shall be exalted in that day. Okay, so it's the Lord Yahushua that's going to be exalted in that day. That ties in with what? Philippians 2. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. So where's going to be the room for vainglory? You being idolized? No, every knee's going to bow to Yahushua. Kings of kings, lords of lords. And upon all the cedars of Lebanon, and the high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon the high mountains, and upon the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower. Okay? And you can also equate the mountains and the hills with governments. And upon every high tower, Eiffel Tower, this tower, That tower. Because people actually go to certain countries to visit these so-called iconic places. Okay, these idols on every high tower. So if you're a man saying, "Oh, I want to travel, I want to see the world in this monument," you're an idolater. And upon every fence wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all the pleasant pictures, even all the pleasant pictures you see that you may see, all that's going to be took down. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low. Okay? We were created to serve Yahushua, not to put anything before Yahushua. And the Lord Yahushua alone shall be exalted in that day. Going back to Philippians 2, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Yahushua is Lord, King, King of kings. Verse 18, and the idols shall be utterly abolished. And the idols he shall utterly abolish. So Yahushua is going to be mashing up them idols. Everything. And you know what that reminds me of? 2 Corinthians 11:4. And every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High. An idol, that's been designed to try and exalt itself against what? Yahushua. Okay? And they shall go into the holes of the rocks. Okay? Underground bases and these buildings. And into the caves of the earth for the fear of the Lord Yahweh Yahushua, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. And that's what he's coming to do. He's come to shake this earth up. And the scriptures tell you that the earth's going to shake, reel to and fro like a drunkard. So that means it's going to be buildings falling, all types of stuff. And in that day shall a man cast away his idols of silver, his idols of gold, which they shall made each one for himself to worship. So this shows you this is still happening. To the moles and to the bats, to go into the clefts of the rocks, and into the tops of the ragged rocks. Okay, a lot of these bases. And you can also equate that with buildings. You're going to have people trying to hide for the fear of the Lord Yahushua and for the glory of his majesty. But this is more so referring to the elites, and when he arises to shake terribly the earth. Okay, now let's go to Revelations. Baba Kashar. Link up these precepts. This is real. Okay, see if we can get the full chapter. Bear me just a minute. Reason why I got to do this because particular pages are missing from my Bible. Okay, let's start at Revelations Baba Kashar 6 and it's 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll. You know, when you see that, that's referring to that mushroom cloud. Looks like a scroll to envelop. Let's go back to where we were. The heavens, here it is. The heaven departed as a scroll, and it is rolled together. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Through what? Through the missiles. Through the wrath of the Lord. Because them chariots are going to be on the sea when all this is happening. It's going to be shortly after the elites think they've chipped who they wanted to chip. All this is going to happen. So it's going to be like a domino effect, one thing after another. It's going to speed up. And the islands were moved out of their places. That's how great that impact's going to be. And the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men. Let's go back to where we were. Hid themselves. When it says chief captains, the armies, even mighty men, great men of this world, the elites, kings of the earth, the rulers of different nations, and every bondman and every free man. Okay, the ordinary people, okay, bondman and free man, the slaves. And every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us. This is how scared they were. They were praying, oh, just rocks, please fall on us, hide us, cover us up from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. So the elites know what's about to happen. They know Yahushua is coming for their arse. For the great day of the Lord Yahushua, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Only the elect are going to be able to stand. This is the martial laws before this. So it shows you how bad things are going to get. It shows you how really bad things are going to get. Yahushua ain't playing. Remember what it says in Matthews. Think not I am come to send peace. I came not to send peace but a sword. This is the reality of what we're reading. If you're not serious, get serious. Pray to be serious. Until the next time, I'm going to shut off here and shalom.